What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Great shout out again to McGrath Honda of St. Charles here in Chicagoland area in St. Charles off of Main Street, also known as North Avenue. If you are in the market for a Honda, let me know and I will patch you up with somebody. They have the largest inventory right now, at least, and they're one of the largest volume sellers of Honda. Now going back to my video, I already have two CRVs on the channel, the EX and the Sport L, but I wanted to do the Sport Touring. This one is the highest in the CRV lineup you can get, going down to LX, starting at around $29,000, coming up all the way to the Touring, Sport Touring, at $39,500. You have Sport L before this, you have the Sport before this, all three are hybrid, and then you have the EXLX non-hybrid. This particular one is the gray color, meteorite gray is what they call this. I like the color and the accents this car has, makes the CRV look aggressive, like I've said many times. The Sport Trim, the Sport L, and the Sport Touring, they all make the CRV look fairly rugged looking, even though it's not a car that you would buy to go off-road and or be aggressive. But the way this one looks, it does give a lot of substance to the car. This one stickers in at $39,500. I will highlight the differences when it comes to what you get in the other trims versus what you get in this. You're buying a CRV because one, you want Honda. Two, why wouldn't you? Three, it's a reliable car. And now they look good too. They've been looking good for quite some time. This was the predecessor over there. You could see the silver one. That's a Touring also, flower petal wheels. And then, by the way, that's also on my channel in black. This is the new CRV. Every time I look, we're going to go bottom up, folks. Every time I look at the bottom, this does remind me of Subaru Ascent. Subaru Ascent has those two, whatever you want to call this, things there, but that just reminds me of that. Overall, the front, you've seen it many times already. Beautiful front. I like the boldness of it. Full LED elements there. Headlights are just enough with the auto beam 2 there. And then no fog lights, obviously, but you have functional vents down below. The Touring really does give you the accented out here as well. So does the Sport L. But overall, the profile of the front, no complaints. Beautiful car. Coming off to the sides here, we're looking at the wheels that are finished in dark gray, call it black, from factory. The overall car, I mean, in general, the wheels are, I just like the styling of it, and I also like the coloring of it. We're talking about riding on 19 inches here on the Touring, but everything else is less than that. 18 is what all the other ones will be. Does have matte cladding. Overall, if you do happen to take this car somewhere off-road, it will take a decent beating because it's got matte cladding there, and it has the body side molding as well on this particular car. Up top, you do have chrome. I will delete that almost immediately because it doesn't match the car. I don't like it. It makes it look ugly with the rest of the car because this car is a good looking car. No power folding mirrors, but they have integrated turn signals there. You also get the roof rails here as well, both the horizontal and vertical, and you have an opening here so you can add a third if need to be. That's the only chrome there. Going from here around the back, what I hate about it, even though this is a Touring, is the incandescent turn signals. The other elements will all be LED, including the reverse light, but you have the incandescent turn signals. Honda emblem here is blacked out along with the CRV and Sport. Hybrid is non-black, and then Touring is a hybrid mix between black and white there. You have your backup camera here. Unlike Pilot, it does not have the washer fluid, which is fine because it dirties the car anyways. This is the all-wheel drive. And then down below, you have the exhaust tips amplified. One is fake completely, which is the left side, and the right side does have a functional exhaust underneath, and then the fake diffuser. I do like how this appears. To open the trunk, simply use either the fob or that button up there. Here's the cargo space inside the car here. For the size and for the car it is, you keep the third row up, you still have ample space, and then if you fold it down, you get even more space there. Set height option is available. Shut it down like so. We're going to go on the inside, and that's where some of the differences get highlighted as we compare this. Keyless entry. The key fob, you've seen the Honda key fob a billion times. This is how the door panel is. Nothing outside of it being plastic and the leather mix. Two-person memory seat, no folding mirrors, nothing outside of that. They are all actually all auto. So that is nice. I was going to say they're not. Cup holders here, and if you forgot, by the time you get inside, there is a CRV written here as well. There's also a CRV kick plate on this one. Both driver passenger will get the power seats, driver also getting the lumbar. I absolutely love the way CRV seats look, be it on a white interior or on the red or black interior on the other cars, because the seats actually have character. Unlike the Accord Touring, there's absolutely no character in the seats. It's just flat black there. Stepping inside of the car, this is not an interior that's foreign to you. Looks very similar to the other Honda lineup. My hands are very cold. I'm going to turn, even though it's 38, it's just very chilly here in Chicago. A few things that you'll notice, and I don't know why manufacturers do that. If you are giving something in touring, give it across the board regardless of what car it is. And what I'm saying is CRV gets heated steering wheel, but doesn't get ventilated seats. Accord, they give you that. CRV Accord is not a comparison. This is an SUV crossover, but I'm just saying in terms of that Honda is capable of giving heated seats in the US market. For the Accord, they just decided not to. They're also capable of giving ventilated seats to CRV folks, but they decided not to. Anyways, left to right, not too much to mention. It does have blank switches. So if this is the highest trim level, why are there blank switches? Because they probably offer something more to other markets, but they're like, US folks, if you want more than what the Touring CRV offers, look, we have an Acura RDX. So come check that out, because these two blank switches are going to be filled if you move up there. Because the Acura RDX picks up right where CRV stops at 40,000. RDX picks up at 41,000, somewhere around there. Anyways, gauge cluster, very similar to how Civic is. You have the analog and then you have the digital on one side. You have the helper screen. This is configurable to an extent, but then the other portion is obviously stagnant there. You have same controls here as any other Hondas. You get the Honda Sensing as standard on all trim levels. LX coming up all the way to the Sport Touring. Wiper stock, your paddle shifters, but this is the hybrid, so that's for your regen. And then you have the heated steering wheel. If I turn it on, that's how it is. There is orange stitching, which I do like the quality. Overall, Honda's quality is amazing. And especially in this generation too, I drive, you folks know, a 23 Accord. Build quality is really good. Premium, feels solid. Everything about the car feels solid. I wish that the CRV also had the same screen as the Accord, but it doesn't. Though it is colored, unlike the Civic, where it's only black and white. Here, this is the Touring, so you have the colored. So if I go in, let's go in navigation and see what that looks like. So there is a little bit of a lag, I suppose. Shouldn't be. There we go. Okay, not the brightest. I don't particularly like how the graphics are on this, but it does move fast, so that's there. If we put it in the reverse, the camera might be a little dirty and grimy because of the weather, but it's not crazy different than how it used to be. Not a huge fan of the resolution here, but it does job well. Coming down below, I've never liked on any CRVs. This is sad because from EX to Sport to the Sport Touring, they've used the same kind of plastic. It doesn't look good. I don't know why they use it, but it's there. You still have no accenting on the knobs on any trim level. Here is that. This shares honeycomb as opposed to their other cars, which are hexagonal. So Civic and CRV would be the same mesh-looking kind vent. Like I said, 3 stages, heated seats, but no ventilation. It's not even an option anywhere because there's not a blank switch there. Everything else is dead easy to control. Not a problem there. One USB-C, one USB-A, and a 12-volt, and then the useless Honda wireless charger. Doesn't do anything, so you're better off turning it off, actually. So I'm going to test it, turn it off. There we go. Gear shift, same, which is good as everything else in the lineup right now, as opposed to the buttons there. Previous gen CRV had the buttons. You will notice that there is a P, R, and D, typical, and then you have the B. The B is actually reserved for limiting the actual braking that you would do otherwise when you are decelerating. So if you put it in that, it just puts it in the lower mode, so you do less braking, like you see my foot on the pedal right now when I was shifting. As far as the modes go, the CRV has 4 modes. So you've got normal, sport, econ, and a snow mode. You have the downhill assist there, your parking brake, and then your brake hold. Most of the things that you are looking in the Touring outside of, let's say, wireless charger, it's the same as what you'd get, let's say, an EX outside of, okay, leather seats, but EX also has, heated seats, things like that. So we will get to a point where we can talk about what's the best trim level, and I think I've said that. But here, you do get a few other things that you don't get in that trim that are below the Touring. You also get the Bose in the 24 CRV Touring there. You also get, I think, the HomeLink as standard, not a dealer accessory for the CRVs at least, but for the other cars like the Accord, you have to add that as a dealer accessory. Cup holders, shame for a CRV because they're small. Same idea, no other storage here except the pen holder, and then you get this cubby with a tray there too. Not saying they're bad, I just think they're small for the car. Seats. Before I climbed in, I said they're beautiful. They are very beautiful. They just look nice. They have the perforation. They have the right amount of stitching going through. If you get a black interior, folks, the orange stitching highlights it so much. It looks beautiful. Black seat belts there, nothing changed there. White and black is the interior here because the headliner is black. Everything else is also black, but the seats are white. Pops it really nice. It looks good. It feels good. It is comfortable to sit in. Let's hop out of the front and go into the back and see what do we have there. You've been in the CRV's back before, but let's do it one more time. So we have a full comparison. This is the door. You've got the tweeter here. You also have a cup holder there. Climbing in, the back does not have the CRV kick plate here, but overall you can see it's fairly decent of the car. No hump, of course, like some of the other cars, so you can go across easy and you can seat 5 people in total, 3 in the back and 2 in the front. So if we're looking at this is really nice. It's like barely getting hump. And then you have 2 USB-Cs here, which is also nice. The interior being a black and white combo, it looks nice because it's not fully black, so it just gives you that, what is it called? Open, airy feeling because the seats are white. Back seats are same as the front when it comes to the comfort, slightly less obviously with bolsters, but everything else is fine. I do wish that these were hidden. Maybe they have covers, but they have put them away or somewhere, but otherwise this looks ugly. So I do wish that they had covers for the ISOFIXes. Cup holders right here. Favorite part, this is vertical, so you can rest your arm and your drinks can go in. So that is perfect. Nothing else to mention here in the back. This was going to be a smaller review simply because I've done CRVs in the past. Just wanted to show you pretty much all trim levels as I can when it comes to how the CRV lineup goes. Overall, CRV in its glory for you in the Sport Touring trim level with some of the blacked out emblems and the blacked out wheels there, the way this comes from factory. I like the way this car looks. I'm not in the market for a CRV or a compact SUV. If I was, and I wanted something reliable, I didn't care about the power, because you folks know this one shares the same motor as the current generation Honda Accord, so 204 horsepower there with Atkinson cycle of 147. So you've got 2 motors. The gas mileage on this car is fairly good for what it is because it's a big car, but still gives you at around 40 miles per gallon when it comes to the hybrid trim levels. So you're comparing this and looking at the Toyota RAV4. You're probably also looking at the Kia Sorento. You're probably looking at the Nissan. Which one is the Nissan one? The Rogue. And then I'm missing one, Hyundai Santa Fe. My pick, no-brainer, Honda CRV. But you decide, it's your money. These cars will be a lot more reliable than any other car, so if you get more options in another car, just make sure you also look at the other aspects of their reliability and how they run and how long they will run for. With that being said, I hope this video was somewhat helpful. If you were looking at CRVs and you didn't know much of a difference between the Touring and Sport Touring, here is the Sport Touring. My pick in the price point and what the CRV lineup goes. And if you want to stay well under 40,000, just go with the Sport hybrid trim level, which is the 3rd in the lineup. It gives you very similar elements in terms of styling, and you're also not close to 40,000 pre-tax. So I think a Sport non-touring would just be fine. Until next video, folks, take care and have a great rest of your day.